Welcome back to my channel, guys. My name is Chris. If you guys are new here, today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. As you guys know, my boyfriend does political videos, Live with Reckless. He's been telling me about everything that's been going on with the protests and everything, crazy things. So I had to hit on this video and see what everyone's talking about. So let's get into the video.
Of ICE raids in Los Angeles. They will be joining the 4,000 National Guardsmen already on the ground. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth said it's in response to the escalating attacks on law enforcement agents and property damage. But are people getting a much different view of what's going on in LA depending on where they're watching this play out? Because it's quite different when you're talking to people in LA.
Yeah.
And very different than what you're seeing on the news.
Did you speak to people? Have you spoken to people in LA?
My whole family's in
And
LA.
what do they say?
They're saying, you know, people are mad. It's been peaceful for days, and then suddenly these guys showed up and flipped everybody out.
Yeah, I heard.
So that's what my family is saying.
I heard the same thing.
She just said I heard the same thing. You heard the same thing or you seen the same thing? Because literally my boyfriend showed me on X so many videos, and it looked like it was off like a video game. So peaceful is not even close to like what that is. So I don't know what world they're in, but
To about 5 people that live in LA, that work in LA, and they said that these protests were very, very orderly. They weren't violent, and they occurred in about a 4-block radius. And we all know how large LA is. And so, in my view, there is no crisis in Los Angeles that ICE did not cause. That is the fact.
yeah, I'm already irritated. Like, seriously, it's only a minute in and I'm irritated because like literally it's everywhere. Like on TikTok, on X. I don't have X, but like he showed me all this, like all the stuff that's going on, and now it's I don't know. This is just crazy to me because there's nothing peaceful, calm, and then now it's not their fault. Like, what?
The matter, right?
Looks like that.
And we now know that Stephen Miller ordered his order that they arrest 3,000 people a day, that ICE arrests 3,000 people a day, led to this. And what I will also say is, you know, California is the largest economy in the United States, has the largest economy. And it has sort of it's the largest state, and it has a GDP that's larger than many countries. And so I think we have to look at what's happening from a bird's eye perspective and look at the why. Trump is militarizing that state as a test run to make sure that he can do it in places like New York, that he can do it in other sanctuary cities. And so there is a plan to this, in my view. And I really think that there's no question that the LAPD, that has 9,000 police officers, could have handled this quite well instead of sending in 7,000, 4,700.
I think that's very astute what you say. I also think that he's using it as a distraction because his big, beautiful bill is tanking right now. His tariffs are tanking the economy pretty much. Even the Senate is not interested in that bill. And then we know that he had a fight with his best friend, Elon Musk. Who dragged out the the Epstein file thing.
He's deleted that.
What's more of a distraction than watching people, acting the way they are in Los Angeles? I've seen this, in my lifetime. And sometimes kids get killed when this happens. In my day, it was Kent State. And they killed 4 kids, American students, and 9 were injured very severely in those days. And I think that they better be very careful what they're doing because that is the next thing that will happen. So
Trump literally said what he was going to do. And it's been how many years? How many times he's said it? And he's doing it. And now everyone's surprised about it. he said what he was going to do and he did it. So what is like, I don't know. The View is really just lost. I feel like they're just lost because they're just trying to make everything to just bring down Trump in like the worst way possible. So, like I said, none of this stuff is peaceful. Either way it goes, either party, it's not peaceful at all. And they're still trying to justify it, and it's just like so like irritating to even watch this.
I expressed yesterday I have a major issue with the National Guard going in and now the U.S. Marines. So to put it in context, 4,000 National Guard and 700 Marines, that's significant.
But there's like, do you blame them? Like from the videos that I've seen, it, like I said, it looks like a little video game. Like it looks crazy. Like what else do you like want everyone to do? Just sit there and let them destroy everything? Like
Significantly more U.S. forces than we had in the wind down of Afghanistan. We had about 2,500 forces, and we were able to secure the entire country against the Taliban because the U.S. military is the greatest fighting force in the history of mankind, and their job is to fight terrorists, to fight America's enemies, not to be policing our U.S. streets. They've been used in the most extreme cases of civil unrest, but what I'll say here is this is where I put a little bit of onus on Governor Newsom. Show that you have the police force to stop the unrest and that it is completely unnecessary to have the National Guard there, to have U.S. troops there, because you can't deny the imagery that you're seeing. There are cars being lit on fire. There are police officers being attacked. There are guardsmen being attacked.
How many, though?
So
how many? Why does it matter? Like what? How is she naming off all these things and then the rest of them are saying it's peaceful? Like, make that make sense.
To be honest, I don't really care if you're hurting police officers, if you're damaging property. That you should get your day in court for.
But nothing was happening like that until they sent
But this is where it's on the governor to say, let's make.
They sent them in because they were doing stuff like that. Oh my gosh.
It's the biggest peaceful protest in history, but the second it gets violent, the governor needs to crack down and show he's capable of policing.
I'm sorry, baby.
That's right.
Part of the problem is that Taco didn't wait.
Taco.
Right.
But
Taco didn't wait for the governor to call him in.
It was the most predictable fight for Donald Trump to pick.
Well, yes.
Gavin Newsom should have seen this coming from a mile away.
That is correct.
I was listening to Los Angeles County Supervisor Catherine Barger today on TV, and I thought she offered some insight that was saying there's a lot of things going wrong here, and it dates back even to when California became a sanctuary place, that when there are sanctuary cities, it forces ICE and a lot of the law enforcement to go into the communities. So it almost puts the communities at unrest. And she was saying there's a lot of things here. Obviously, it was exacerbated when the National Guard was sent in. It also shows a disconnect in communication. Federal, when they call in, it should be working with the governor, not separately from the governor, in order to take care of the people on the ground. So I would say that there's a lot of things going on here, but none of it should be partisan. And this is why I say either we're for the idea of justice, and when people are looting or there is any violence, they should be punished. Or we're going to release January 6th insurrectionists. We're doing one or the other because it should be consistent across the board.
Let me show you guys something. I want to show you both. So all of it. Do you have the thing? I want you to tell me, do you guys have it or is it not ready? Hello, speaking to myself again.
There we go.
Okay. So can you tell me which one is the riot in Los Angeles and which is the celebration for the Eagles?
Yeah.
Philadelphia loves to burn itself down.
But
was the National Guard sent in when
that's
Philadelphia
the
was
point.
burning?
The National Guard was not. Well, that's the point.
Yeah. Where's the National Guard?
In part.
I have a question.
Yeah. So, the difference is.
Why would they not call anybody else when all that stuff is going on regardless? Like,
there's an agenda.
That's right.
Yeah.
There's an agenda. Now, none of the and I'm going to put it back on him because
Taco?
If you did not go in the way that you go in, if you had stuck to the thing where you said we're going to only get the people who are the bad guys in the M13. If you had done that, you would not be seeing this because it would be done in a way where we all say, yes, we got to make sure that. But you're going in taking 4-year-olds, you snatching kids from high school.
You mean that little thing called due process?
Well,
that
due
the Constitution
but
allows for?
it's more empathy, man. I mean, I understand you're upset, you want to get this done, and people want it to happen. But I don't think anybody, not people who are on this side or the middle, I don't think anybody is happy with the way it's going down. When, as I said yesterday, when you go into a donut shop to where people are working, these are people who get paychecks and pay taxes. They don't get any money for, Social Security. There's no Social Security for these folks. But they're paying taxes. When you go in tactical uniforms to drag people out and you're not checking, this is what happens. There has to be a better way.
Honestly, like, with everything that they said, like, at first they said something about it being peaceful. Well, 3 of them said that it was about being peaceful and it was fine until ICE, whatever. No, they literally showed clips. They literally showed showing them themselves that it's not peaceful. So I don't know. My opinion on all of it is that at the end of the day, Trump said what he was gonna do and he did it, and that's just that. And then also, the police can't handle it, so why not call for extra help? Because then the whole world's gonna be on fire, or everybody's just gonna start rioting everywhere and no one can control it. So, like, that's my thing. I would call for backup if I couldn't have enough help for whatever. And yeah. So honestly, this is my first video doing about everything that's going on. So make sure you guys comment down below more videos, and because I want to know what else is going on and what else is being said, because this video has got me very highly irritated because it's just like stupidity. So make sure you guys comment down more videos, and I will try to post every single day, 1 video a day at least, or maybe 2 eventually. But yeah, so make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned.